Hey everyone, Erin here, and I'm here today with a book haul. I actually got all these books back in July, and I'm just recording this book haul now. Very, very typical of me. End of July, it was my birthday, and I had just graduated college back in May, so I had decided to kind of splurge and reward myself and do a kind of treat myself. If you know anything about me, I usually get all my books from used bookstores or from thrift stores, so I never really go out and buy brand new books. It's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna splurge and I'm just going to treat myself and get some books that I really want to read and that are newer releases, because usually I'm reading older books and I'm very late onto bandwagons for books because I always get them from used bookstores. I've actually read majority of these books already, so these are the 11 books that I have to show you. The first book I got was I Was Here by Gail Forman, and I've already talked about this one quite a bit in both of my wrap-ups, and I've already read it and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, but this is basically just a book about a girl whose best friend commits suicide, and so it's just kind of her journey of coping with it, figuring out why her friend did this, and just kind of all the things that would go around this aspect. I actually got this one at a Goodwill for like $1, which is amazing because it looks brand new, it's hardcover, and it's still beautiful. So this was an awesome find and I was so excited about it. The next book I got was Alive by Scott Siegler. This one, there was a lot of hype around it like a month or two ago. So when I was buying books, I decided to pick this one up because it seemed to have a very similar plot as like The Hunger Games, Lord of the Flies, Battle Royale, Fire and Flood, which are all some of my favorite books, so I thought this would be an awesome book to read if it was similar to those. I'm actually currently reading it and I only have like 60 pages left, and I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about it. I'm not really liking it as much as I was hoping. It's really, I don't know. I'll talk about it in my wrap-up. I think I'm going to post a whole review video on it. This book is about a teenager who wakes up inside of a coffin, and when she breaks out of her coffin, she finds many other coffins like hers, and after helping the other people within the coffins escape, after they find out that they're all quite similar and it's all their 13th birthday. However, when they look at each other, they do not look 13. They don't remember anything about their lives besides that it is their 13th birthday. They don't remember their names. All they know is what's written on their coffin, which is their last names, and basically that's all they know. They're just trying to uncover the truth and why they are locked in this strange place. And then there's some weapons involved, which obviously you give some hormonal teenagers some weapons and chaos is going to ensue. So that is basically kind of the premise of this book and the best way that I can explain it without spoiling anything. The next book I got was A Dark and Twisted Tide by Sharon Bolton, and I know I say this every single time I talk about this series, but this is my absolute favorite series. This is the 4th book in the Lacey Flint novels. This book is basically just about a young detective named Lacey and her journey solving these horrendous and horrific crimes. And it's just so good and I love it so much, and please go check it out. The next book I picked up was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and hopping super late on the bandwagon for this one. This one has been one that I've been wanting to read for quite some time. I've only heard awesome things about it. I don't actually know too much about this book, surprisingly, for how much I want to read it, but it is about a girl who is an assassin and she goes to the king to try to fight for her freedom, I believe. I could be wrong with that, but yeah, I'm super excited to read this one. I also went ahead and I got the second book, Crown of Midnight, just so that I can read these two back to back, and I'm super excited to read them. The next book I got was Day 21 by Cass Morgan, which is the second book in the 100 series, and I've already talked about this one quite a bit because I've already read it in both of my wrap-ups. This series is about a future world where war and nuclear warfare has kind of ruined Earth. So humans are unable to live on Earth anymore, so they go up to space to live in a colony, a spaceship, and they've been living up there for the last like 100-some years. This book follows 100 teenagers who on the ship were on trial for crimes, and the government on the ship has now sent these teens down to Earth to see if Earth is now stable enough for humans to re-inhabit. And it basically just follows all the chaos and adventure that would ensue with sending a bunch of criminal teens down to Earth. I have already read this one and I did give it 4 out of 5. So the next book I got was Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. This one was kind of just a impulse buy. I don't really know actually too much about this one. It had been hauled quite a few times and it sounded interesting. It is about a boy who gets sent to a sanatorium for teens suffering from tuberculosis, and he meets a girl that he kind of knows from his past, and just kind of his adventures and coming of age and becoming a new person without being held down by his illness. And it's a very pretty book, so had to get it. The next book I got was Crane by Robin Roig. This one was just kind of another go out on a whim and buy. I love horror and thriller genre, which this is kind of that. It's kind of a modern retelling of Sleepy Hollow story and of the Headless Horseman, and I'm just really excited to read this one again because I just love that horror thriller genre of books. I've also heard awesome things about this book, and it's really creepy and it's just really good. I plan on reading this one probably around October because, I mean, Halloween and Sleepy Hollow, like, I mean, that's kind of a given. But I am super excited to read this one. The next book I got was Red Queen by Victoria Avard, and again, this is one that I am jumping super late on the bandwagon for. I've only heard awesome things about this one. This is one that I've been wanting to read for some time. I don't really know too much about this one either. It's just about a society that has two kinds of people, the Reds and the Silvers, and it's about a girl who is in the Reds, but she's like very low on the totem pole of the Reds, and she and her family are servants to the Silvers, and she gets betrothed to one of these Silvers princes and something like that. I don't know. I don't like to know too much going into reading them, so I like to kind of keep it a mystery, so I'm trying not to ruin it for myself. So that's probably the best that I can give you of a synopsis. Most of you probably already know what this is about because it's been out for some time and it's a really hyped book, so that will be okay. But I am super excited to read this one, and I really hope to read it very soon. Next book I got was Mouse by Art Spiegelman, which is a graphic novel about a dad and his son's kind of telling of World War II, his experience going through Nazi camps and all of that, and it was absolutely fantastic. I've already read it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I really enjoyed it. I want to pick up the second one very soon to kind of see how this concludes. The final book I got was Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein, and this one was just kind of another random buy. I love historical fiction and anything that really revolves around World War II, and so I was kind of just browsing through that genre, and I found this one. I don't really also know much about this one. I think it's just about a pilot, a British pilot, whose plane crashes with her best friend. They crash into a Nazi-inhabited France, and they are taken into custody. Best friend who has the chance to survive if she tells the Nazis her mission, otherwise she will be put to execution. That's basically all I know about it, but I'm super excited to read it, and I really can't wait to dive into this one. So those are the 11 books that I happened to buy in these last few months. If you guys have read any of these books, you guys should definitely tell me what you guys thought of them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.